KXSP, Omaha's ESPN Radio. Listen on AM 590, AM590, ESPNradio.com, and on the free ESPN Radio app. It's time to strap in and get ready for the front stretch. Presented by Joe's Karting. Dan and Dirk are live in the studio today, ready to hear from you at 402-573-0590.
Well, good morning to you, race fans. This is the Front Stretch, presented by Joe's Karting at Council Bluffs, online at joeskarting.com, the newly renovated joeskarting.com, karting with a K, and the newly renovated Joe's Karting track down at Council Bluffs, 23rd Avenue in Council Bluffs, next to Quaker Steak and Lube, AMC Theaters, Ruby Tuesdays, the casino area down there. If you haven't been to Joe's yet, just stop waiting. It's a beautiful day to get out there. No NASCAR to pay attention to today. No Easter Sunday. It's a great day to get down to Joe's Karting and do some racing. Dirk, good morning to you, sir.
It is morning.
We are ready to entertain you with all that we have going on today, and we do have a lot going on today, so let's get right down to it. Recap from Texas will be in turn number 1. Turn 2 will be joined by Stan Cisar to talk about the National Sprint League debut at 34 Raceway in Burlington, and then we'll also talk with Randy from RacefeedX.com, also known as RandyCam. That'll be coming up in turn number 2. In turn number 3, we're going to do NASCAR trivia. We have 4 pair of tickets to Kansas Speedway to give away, and you're going to be able to play NASCAR trivia. Now, you're going to be able to pick if you want to play the NASCAR numbers games, which is going to be add one driver to another driver and tell me what the number is. So, for instance, let's just do a simple one. Let's do Brad Keselowski plus Austin Dillon equals
Casey Kane.
Casey Kane, 5 right. So if you can get the driver, that'd be even better. But I didn't prepare that far ahead, so I'm not going to require you to do that. We'll just do the number for now.
And now we have 3 pair of tickets left.
Congratulations, Dirk, our first winner. And then we've also got the NASCAR trivia. We'll just get some real simple questions to ask you about NASCAR. And then the NASCAR nickname game, so you can pick between those to play to win tickets to Kansas Speedway, to the SpongeBob Square Pants 400. And then in turn number 4, kind of recap everything, and we will preview the Icebreaker Challenge, get you ready for Bristol Motor Speedway, get you update on the Pick'ems contest. Got a lot to do today. First and foremost, get your phone numbers ready for turn number 3, and you're welcome to tune in any time. If you got an opinion on Texas last night, 402-573-0590. Those are the numbers to call if you would like to get your name in the line to be able to give your opinion on the events last night, maybe some dirt racing. If you were over at Burlington for the NSL, we'd like to hear from you about that. If you were at I-80 Speedway last night for the Bug Eater Bash, we'd like to hear from you on that. So 402-573-0590. 402-573-0590. Turn number 1 brought to you by Kansas Speedway. Tickets for the SpongeBob Square Pants 400 night race, Saturday night, May 9th. Tickets are available now. Call 866-460-RACE, 866-460-RACE, or you can also visit KansasSpeedway.com. That's the easiest way to go about that. All right, results from last night. Quickly recap, I was at the Bug Eater Bash calling the races, so I wasn't able to watch the race. I could see the ticker on my NASCAR live feed. Give me a quick recap of the race, just kind of perception of how the race went, if you would, Dirk.
You had your usual suspects. Harvick, Johnson ran up front most of the night. It did get interesting down towards the end there. They had a handful of drivers, Jamie Mack, Jeff Gordon, come in late in the race and did 2-tire stop to improve track position, but were not able to hold that bunch off when they took 4 tires. They kind of got steamrolled the last 10 to 12 laps of the race, and Johnson had them covered. Harvick starts a new streak, finishing second, and he ran an exciting last lap after taking a big bounce off the wall.
I heard about that.
Let in Junior by, and then still chased him down. So I don't know if Junior just felt bad for him or what, but I couldn't believe he got back by Junior there at the end. But good racing overall. Not a super amount of cautions. I think there was still 40 drivers or 40 or 41 cars on the track at the end. There was only a couple that dropped out. So, but for a Texas race, there weren't a lot of blown tires and cars backing into the wall like you normally see at that high-speed place.
Looks like we had 3 engines lost and 2 accidents.
Okay, so there ended up being 38 cars in
Yep.
at the end of the race.
At the end of the race, yep.
Still, for Texas, that's about 10 more than normal.
Yeah, it is. The night had to do that. Maybe not the cooler temperatures a little easier on these engines at the high RPMs that Texas can put on.
No, normally the cooler temperatures are harder on the engines because the air is denser, so they make more horsepower. But now with the restrictor plates and stuff, now that they've got them detuned a little bit, that's not that big of an issue. Now you're not seeing the bottom ends of these motors brakes. You're seeing other stuff, kind of odd things. But I think looks like Goodyear bought a pretty good tire.
Good. I saw something on J-Ski that Goodyear was defending some tire stuff. Was there anything worth defending, or is this just Goodyear needing to be defensive as always because the driver spouts off?
I think that's more of it. There were some pictures that I saw on Facebook on Brendan Gaughan's page from the Xfinity race where he had one. I believe it was a right rear tire that was just about to go. I mean, it had got pretty well abused. But the guys in the Xfinity race, I know they had Earnhardt Jr.'s radio on for a little bit, and he was saying that he didn't think his right rear was going to take a fuel run. There was a couple of the guys like that, but that's just a setup. And
I see that now that I'm reading, it has more to do with the tires so far in the first 7 races and not necessarily to do with Texas. All right, results from Texas Motor Speedway, finishing 10th. How about this, Carl Edwards? How did he look? How did he perform at Texas?
Well, he was racing for the Children's Miracle Network, and if he would have won the race, they were going to donate $1 million.
Yeah.
Instead of, they guaranteed him they'd donate $100,000. So, that was a little bit of motivation. Not like these guys' egos aren't motivation enough for
right.
him. But,
he's hungry. He's hungry to finally start succeeding. And we're only 7 races into the season, but on the other hand, we're 7 races into the season.
And it was the best run he's had.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have the Matt Kenseth, Joe Gibbs luck when Matt walked in and started winning races right away. So, Carl won one last year. But
he had pretty high standards as far as Matt Kenseth switching team, winning right away. Kevin Harvick switching teams, winning right away. There's been a couple of drivers that have switched teams, and they have just jived right away. But I think that's the exception rather than the rule.
Correct. Yeah, it really is. Unless you see some of these things, but in either one of those two cases, sometimes if the crew chief goes, you've got that history with you.
Yeah.
But neither Harvick's crew chief went or Matt Kenseth's crew chief.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not a big fan of Darian Grubb, who's the crew chief for that 19 car. I think Darian's a talented crew chief, but he hasn't done anything since the last 10 races of the chase that he won the championship with Tony Stewart.
Well, again, if you don't mesh with your driver, you can be the most talented crew chief in the world. You know, I mean, Chad Knaus could make a lot of guys winners, but they might be 1 or 2 race phenoms because he's a little bit different breed, and him and Jimmy work so well together.
Absolutely, it really is fluke of nature how well they work together. Martin Truex Jr., Casey Kane, Jeff Gordon, Jamie McMurray, and Brad Keselowski are 9th through 5th. Your 4th place finisher, Joey Logano, Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes home 3rd. Kevin Harvick starts his streak of 2nd place finishes again, and I say streak, it's only been 1, but we're going to Bristol, which I believe he does well there. I'll need to double check on my stats there, but Kevin Harvick again doing very well. Jimmy Johnson getting his 2nd win on the season.
Yeah, kind of the surprise was Kurt Busch having the pole for the race. Then he started off and took the outside lane at the start of the race, which he has the option to do, which for the last several races at Texas has not been the place to go to start a race at. So that puzzled everybody. I mean, the announcers were talking about it. I wish they'd have done some radio stuff and tried to figure out why he chose that lane. But he really wasn't a factor the whole night.
No? I see that he did end up leading, 45 of 334 laps. So, yeah, you're kind of right. Even though he did lead twice, that's not a lot of laps to lead. All right, that's the results from Texas. Stan Cisar's joining us on the phone now. So we'll bring Stan up, and we'll talk about the National Sprint League at 34 Raceway. Stan, how you doing this morning?
Hey, great, Dan. How you doing?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. You got some results from us for 34 Raceway?
Well, it sounds like they had an awesome event over here. They had 39 cars, and boy, it's some great drivers from all around the country in the house. And our old buddy Wayne Johnson picking up the win in that inaugural National Sprint League event over there. Terry McCall was in the lead, had some misfortune. He spun about mid-race, and Wayne was in the right position to capitalize on that. He picked up the win. It's a great race for Wayne. McCarl surged back to the second spot. Brad Lloyd finishing third. I believe, Brian Brown, Daniel Osowski, Steve Kinzer, Sammy Swindell, both in the house for that race.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Dobmeyer also top 10 finish. But like I say, they had 39 cars, 4 heat races. Tim Kading from California came all the way out of the B main event. He had a great run. He actually finished fifth. Tim Kading driving the Leinster car now out of North Dakota, and he'll be competing on the whole National Sprint League Tour. But heat race wins. Let's see, they had 4 heat races last night, and Brooke Tatnell, Sammy Swindell, Terry McCall, Dusty Zomer took the heat race wins. Kading, as we mentioned, picked up the B main event win, started far back in that feature and worked his way all the way up in the top 5. But all in all, everybody happy, jam-packed grandstand for the inaugural race. And race number 2 on the schedule, of course, is going to be right here at Eagle Raceway on May 5th. And unfortunately, you're going to have to miss that because you'll be in Kansas. But we'll be able to do the call with Bill Wright, and looking forward to that.
That'll be exciting. It's something I really like what the National Sprint League is doing is contingency awards, and they handed out 9 of them last night. One of them went to Josh Schneiderman, the Speedway Graphics From the Tail Award.
Actually, Josh picked up 2 of those contingency awards. He also picked up a Hard Luck Award given by Bell Helmets. But we decided to give the last guy to qualify for the A main event. Help those guys out a little bit. Maybe they are clear up at the front of the field, and then at the end of the year, the car that out of the final last starter out of all the feature races, the car that passes the most cars in A feature action that started from the last position. Get a free lettering job and keep those cars looking good out on the track. Danny Lasowski picked up the Quick Time Award. As we said, heat race wins going to Tatnell, Jeffrey McCarl, and Kading. Jim Kading also picked up that KSC Hard Charger. He came from the 20th position and 21st position, actually, and worked his way all the way up to 5th. So passing a lot of cars, and I think it kicked off what's going to be a great series. It's going to be great for sprint car racing in the Midwest, and we're glad to be part of it.
Yeah,
sounds like they got a pretty good roster of drivers for that opener.
Well, they had 39 cars over there for the first race, and I'll tell you, if you look down their member roster, and I would say most of those guys are going to be at all the races because they've got a great point fund, $350,000 points fund for the year, and paying the top 15 drivers in that. I believe the 15th place is still $6,000, $75,000 going to the winner. They've also got a tow money plan. The top 15 teams and points are going to receive tow money to all the races, help them get up and down the road. And like I said, they're doing it all right. And then this week they announced Factory Value Parts coming on board as the title sponsor of the series. So that was a great announcement. They've got plenty of great series sponsors. Guys like Casey's General Store and a lot of guys like that. And then plus their great contingency awards. They're doing it right. They've Todd Quirken's been a car owner with the World of Outlaws for quite a number of years, and he's seen what he likes. He's seen what he didn't like, and made a few changes. And like I said, we are really looking forward to being a part of it. I believe we'll be able to announce it probably 5 or 6 shows whenever the series comes west. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, let's talk about your upcoming weekend. I know it's only Sunday. This weekend's not over with yet, but now we're looking forward to the Icebreaker Challenge at Eagle Raceway. What's in store for fans?
Oh, that's shaping up to be another great event down at Eagle Raceway. Looking at pre-registration, as of the 9th, we had probably, I believe, 182 cars registered for the 5 classes. 37 sprint cars were registered. They did an inaugural race of the Sprint Series in Nebraska for the Race Saver Sprints. 37 cars pre-registered. We could have as many as 45 in the house that night. For sprint cars, I believe close to 30 modifieds, over 40 sport mods, over 40 hobby stocks, and I believe close to 30 sport compacts. And then this is something new they just added this year: the twice as nice challenge with the main emphasis being placed on ice for the Icebreaker. if you could double down and a modified driver can win both nights, an extra $1,000 bonus, and or a sport mod driver, if they can win both on Friday and on Saturday nights, A features extra $1,000 going to them. So sport mods have an opportunity to win $2,000, and modifieds have an opportunity to win $4,000. Friday night's main pays $1,000, Saturday night's main pays $2,000. In the modified division, so it's kind of a modified madness. This is the special for the modifieds and the kickoff race for that sprint series in Nebraska, a new series that's starting, going to run right at around 9 to 10 races for their first year, and given, like I said, a lot of tracks that maybe don't have the budget to race some of the larger sprint car specials, a chance to experience sprint car racing and see what goes on at Eagle Raceway every Saturday night. How
early are they starting each night, Stan?
Let's see. I believe I'd have to take a quick look at that. My stats here. I imagine regular time. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 6:30 both nights. Maybe a 7 o'clock. Push it back no more than probably a half an hour on the Friday night, because with that many cars, we can't wait too late to start. It's going to make it tough. Maybe on Friday for some guys to get there from work. But Eagle's pretty close to home. Even from Omaha, probably a 30-minute drive at the most, and from Lincoln, maybe 15-20 minutes. So, looking forward to great weekend racing. We're hoping that Mother Nature is nice to us.
Stan Cisar, the voice of the Speedway. Appreciate you joining us, sir.
Hey, no problem. Thanks a lot for fitting me in early because of my scheduling.
Anytime. Have a good morning.
Thanks, Stan.
Dan. You betcha. Thanks.
And Stan Cisar again, EagleRaceway.com for more information on purchasing tickets for the Icebreaker Challenge. And yeah, it looks like there's a 6 o'clock start on Friday and a 6 o'clock start on Saturday. So a lot of cars to get in on that night, but there's very few tracks in the area that can get in that many cars in probably about, what you think, probably a 4-hour window?
Well, no, they won't get that show done in 4 hours. It would be a miracle if they did. They had they had a 160-car show a couple years ago, and some of these races at the beginning of the year when guys are getting their feet wet again, they've had the winter off.
That's true.
Can take a little extra time because, everybody's got to get in their groove, the tow guys. And,
yep. And you can't help red flags.
You can't.
Which, when there's a sprint car accident, it's going to have to be a red flag. But generally,
the sprint car guys are usually the ones you're not too worried about. You're usually worried about your sport compacts, your hobby stocks, and your B mods. Kind of your beginner classes, because you do have a lot of people that have just switched cars. You got a lot of people in their first race, and again, just inexperience. And the first couple nights of the year, it'll bite you.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back in turn number 2, and Randy from RaceFeedX.com is going to join us to talk about the Bug Eater Bash this weekend. We'll be back here on the front stretch.
We have all been there before. Broken car part in your hand and some snot-nosed punk behind the counter has no idea what he's talking about, but he guarantees that this part will fix your car. You pay an arm and a leg for the replacement, get it home, and sure enough, it doesn't fit your car. Now, learn from your mistake and give an experienced salesperson at Kasiski Auto Parts a call today at 402-731-4592. Kasiski Auto Parts will get you back on the road with your arms and legs still attached.
Hey, NASCAR fans, racing season is here. That's right, it's the SpongeBob Square Pants 400 at Kansas Speedway, May 9th, under the lights. Come out and meet SpongeBob and Patrick and see the NASCAR superstars. Clint Boyer, Jeff Gordon, Danica Patrick, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Tickets are $99 or less, and kids' tickets are $29. For tickets, call 866-460-7223 or visit KansasSpeedway.com today.
Are you looking to book your next outing? Look no further than Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs, located just north of Bass Pro. Joe's Karting can handle outings of well over 200 people. Bachelor parties, corporate outings, team meetings, birthday parties, and much more. Give Buddy a call today and reserve your outing. Joe's will even work with local restaurants to cater your event. Book yours today at joeskarting.com. That's karting with a K. It's time to get to Joe's and find out what everyone already knows.
Dan and Dirk are rolling into turn 2 with a little attitude on the front stretch.
We do appreciate you sticking with us here on the front stretch in turn number 2, brought to you by Kasiski Auto Parts. 51st and I Streets is where you can go get quality used parts at an affordable price. Kasiski Auto Parts. Get to Kasiski Auto Parts today and make sure that you get your car back on the road at affordable price. Let's talk about the Bug Eater Bash that happened Friday and Saturday night at I-80 Speedway. I believe we're getting joined on the phone now by Randy from RacefeedX.com, formerly Xsan, rebranded, remarketed, and ready to roll. And Randy, you got me, bud?
Yeah, how's it going, Dan?
Good. How are you doing, sir?
Trying to pry my eyes open and find some coffee in Lincoln.
Yeah, you're headed back home now after a long weekend of being at the racetrack.
Yeah, we're getting our stuff together and getting ready to go home and take a little bit of a break.
What was your guys' thoughts on the weekend for Friday and Saturday racing? Actually, I guess let me start off with this. You're Randy from RacefeedX.com, a great service that you guys provide, telecasting some of the dirt races throughout the area. I shouldn't say some, I should say a lot, because you guys are seen to be everywhere. RacefeedX.com is where you can go for more information. Randy, what was your thoughts on the weekend?
I-80 Speedway?
Yes.
Absolute great facility. They put on a good show. The surface was great. The people treat you good. Concessions were decent, and it was a good weekend.
Did you get a chance to try one of Nebraska's best pork tenderloin sandwiches?
No, no. I saved that for the stuff for the grown-ups and the fans.
Could you pick out maybe last night or the night before one of the races that stuck out in your head? I think I know which one you're going to talk about, but great racing all throughout the weekend. But was there one race that you liked in particular?
Stock cars.
Yeah.
The stock cars where they got third through like ninth were in a 6-car bunch for 10 out of the 12 laps.
Yeah, that was the stock car feature from last night. The leader kind of had it kind of sealed up, but not really.
Yeah, and then he made the fatal mistake and spun himself out. Remember that?
Yeah,
they had the lead change because the leader come down into turns 3 and 4 and just lost control of the car. And
that happened a couple of times last night through different features where the leader just out on his own, 5 or 6 car length lead, all of a sudden spins on his own. No lap traffic, no issues, just takes it around.
And then Chris Abelson having 3 different feature wins on the weekend. He got the makeup feature win for the last year's Cornhuskers, and then he pretty much took a sweep from the A mods and the B mods this week for the new show.
Yeah, nobody was catching him on Friday night, but he had kind of an off car on Saturday. It was a different track on Saturday, so he wasn't able to get the adjustments just right, and I think he ended up finishing 3rd or 4th on Saturday night.
I'm pretty sure he won Saturday.
I thought Jordan Grabowski won Saturday.
Not that was the A mod.
Well, yeah,
that's
a good point because Chris brought out his B mod and did some racing on Friday and Saturday. He was a busy man.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so must not have been a sanctioned show then if he was allowed to run a B mod.
No, this weekend was unsanctioned.
Yeah.
And it was also a makeup for the Cornhusker Classic, so fans were able to get quite a few more races in for their dollar. For your A-Mods on Saturday night, your winner was Jordan Grabowski, Hunter Marriott, and Jared Hoffelman. Those guys really battled for a long time for the lead, and then eventually Jordan Grabowski able to lock it up. Jesse Dennis, Jacob Anson 5th, and Abelson in the A-Mods did come home in 6th.
Yep. Yeah, that's the race where he was back a little bit. Didn't quite hit the setup. But that race up front for the front 3 spots, the whole entire race was good to watch.
Absolutely. B-Mods feature, Chris Abelson gets the win. Mark Lighting comes home 2nd. Jake Neal 3rd. Kyle Prainer 4th. And Justin Bell rounds out the top 5. Good finish for all those guys.
Yeah, you can't beat it when you have a weekend where you get up into the top 5. That's pretty much a win no matter where you go.
And all of these race recaps can be found on your guys' Facebook page and website, right?
I believe so.
racefeedx.com. Again, racefeedx.com. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them online. A great little service you guys provide. If you can't get to the track, you can still subscribe to the service and watch the races, and then you guys get to tune into the local announcers and watch the racing. And something that, I never really expected you guys to do, but there is a little bit of profit sharing that goes back to the track, because, the inevitable fear for the track is that if they let you guys in, then people are going to stop coming to the track, but there is still some money that goes back to the track to keep the local tracks alive.
Yeah, that's the business end of it. I don't know much about that. But you're right, it does do some of that. Basically what we do is we come in, we set up some cameras, we shoot the races. It's a live broadcast. We pump in the track announcers most of the time. So we've got the track announcers calling the show. But what it does is it gives people at home that can't make it to the track a chance to see what they're missing. People that are interested in coming to the track from a long distance, gives them a chance to take a look at the track and the facility and see how things go and see if they want to invest and make the trip later. And what we're hoping that the service does is gives those people the reason to come and actually spend their money at the track the next time they want to be there.
Yeah, I think this is one of the few sports that is actually TV proof. The NFL deals with it, the MLB deals with it, where it's just easier to sit at home and watch the games, as opposed to racing, where there is an ambience, there's a feel, there's an excitement that cannot be replicated on your tablet, on your laptop, or on your TV. But at least you can catch the action and get excited for the next race that you're going to get to.
Yes. Yeah, you can take a look at, like you said, the action. You get a little bit of a glimpse of the grounds. You get to see how things are laid out. You get to see how the program is run. You get a lot of information from a 3-hour broadcast.
And you also do kind of a fun thing where you do the RandyCam, where you take videos on your cell phone throughout the pits to get people ready for the night of racing. It's not just kind of, hey, we're here at this track and do this. It's you're in the haulers with the drivers as they're setting up their car, kind of talking about what they're going to be doing and previewing it. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, what I do is I give people a chance to meet and get to know the drivers a little bit on a one-to-one, two people talking about dirt type of deal. I don't go in with a preset plan of what I'm going to talk to these people about. I just go in and start BSing with them. And we just film it. Now, some of the more multi-day shows, 2 and 3 day shows, we'll do things a little bit differently and have a little more production on them. But for the most part, I've gone to doing it basically on my cell phone. I post it right from their pit area, and we talk about how they did the night before, how their season's been. Sometimes we'll talk about car setups. Sometimes we'll just talk about the weather. But it's just two guys talking about dirt, minute and a half maybe, and it gives people a little bit of a preview of what that driver looks like without a helmet on.
Yeah, there's simple short videos that you can watch, really quickly, because as impatient as this world is today, nobody has time for an 8-minute interview to get to maybe a 30-second question that you actually want to hear about. It's quick, simple questions, quick, simple answers.
Yep.
The RandyCam is where you can go, facebook.com/the RandyCam to subscribe to him and get all the different racing action. Just got some good videos posted from this weekend, and appreciate everything you do, Randy.
Thanks.
Have a good one. Appreciate you joining, calling into the show.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
So again, facebook.com/the RandyCam. Randy is a part of racefeedx.com, formerly XAN. A great service those guys provide.
Do you know if they're coming back for the silver dollars?
That's actually Dirt on Dirt that does that.
Okay, Dirt on Dirt did
Dirt
that.
on Dirt has that contract, so Dirt on Dirt will be back. So you will be able to watch the Silver Dollar Nationals. Joe and I were actually just talking about the logistics of how that all works out for the racetracks last night after I got to meet the guys from racefeedx.com and get some questions answered. And yeah, it's going to be the Dirt on Dirt guys again. Ben Shelton's going to be there and writing stories on the show and doing pit reporting and all that fun stuff. So you will be able to watch the Silver Dollar Nationals if you can't be there in person, but be there in person.
It's a great show.
You can't enjoy Nebraska's best pork tenderloin sandwich sitting behind your laptop at home. They're just not as good.
But you can drive to Farley Speedway and get a better one.
No, you cannot. I will fight you on that. That was the best.
325 miles away. But you can get a better one.
That was the best pork tenderloin sandwich I've ever had. I will challenge you on that, my friend. I want to say a quick congratulations to Andrew Kaziski. Got a win on Friday night. And congratulations to him in the offseason. I don't think I've mentioned it yet. Got proposed on the Daytona 500 day. Woke up that morning, got ready for the Pick'ems contest, and popped the question to his longtime girlfriend, Kara.
Oh, I thought he got it popped to him.
No, he got around to it, and he said, well, it's been a few years now, and I think it's time to actually ask the question. So congratulations to those two on getting engaged, and congratulations to Andrew. He had an absolutely fantastic car on Friday night. I have never seen someone so nervous in the grandstands watching Kara watch her fiance race for the first few times this season, and man, she was willing him on to that win. Billy Coods Jr. on Friday night did everything he could do to get around Andrew, but nice, clean, hard racing, and Andrew had some great restarts, 2 or 3 great restarts, and was able to pull away and get the feature win on Friday night. I think he came home third on Saturday night in the Grand Nationals. So wanted to say quick congratulations to Andrew. All right, let's take a break. Turn number 3 just around the corner. Get your phone calls in now. 402-573-0590. Get in line to start for the NASCAR trivia and win your pair of tickets to Kansas Speedway for the SpongeBob Square Pants 400. This is the front stretch on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio.
Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs has taken a page out of IMCA's rulebook and gone crate. These brand new low-emission engines will still have you white-knuckling it all through the Metro's fastest indoor facility. Joe's Karting is now friendly for all skill levels with their brand new Honda-powered engines. It's time to get to Joe's today and find out what drivers like Jack Dover, Shaylee Bate, and Andrew Kosiski have known for years. Located in Council Bluffs and online at joeskarting.com. That's karting with a K. Ring. Hey, NASCAR fans, racing season is here. That's right, it's the SpongeBob Square Pants 400 at Kansas Speedway, May 9th, under the lights. Come out and meet SpongeBob and Patrick and see the NASCAR superstars. Clint Boyer, Jeff Gordon, Danica Patrick, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Tickets are $99 or less, and kids' tickets are $29. For tickets, call 866-460-7223 or visit KansasSpeedway.com today.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Quaker Steak and Lube is the official watering hole for the front stretch and the best place to catch all the NASCAR action today. Open at 11 a.m. with delivery available to Council Bluffs.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Feather the brake and get back to the gas. Dan and Dirk are headed into turn 3 on the front stretch.
All right, the moment you've all been waiting for. NASCAR trivia time. Let's give away a pair of tickets to Kansas Speedway. We have 4 pair to give away today. We'll see if we got time to give them all away today. If not, we'll have to hold off until, April 26th when it's our next live show. All right, let's take call number 1. I believe Jerry's on the phone. Jerry, how are you doing this morning? Jerry, you ready to win some tickets to Kansas Speedway?
We'd love to.
All right. Do you want to play NASCAR trivia, NASCAR nickname game, or the numbers game?
Let's do the nickname game, please.
All right. Let's pick out... We're going to try an easy one. Just because I just want to get things started. Give me Brad Keselowski's nickname.
Bad Brad.
Bad Brad it is. Congratulations, Jerry. That's it. You got a pair of tickets to Saturday night, May 9th, SpongeBob Square Pants 500 race at Kansas Speedway.
Thank you very much.
That has to be the easiest prize you have ever won.
Hang on the line, Jerry. I got to get some information from you. Craig, our producer, is going to take care of that for you. Hang on the line, all right?
Thank you.
All right, let's go over to line number 2 to the Bohemian Bullet.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing this morning?
Great. How about yourself?
Doing good. You ready to win a pair of tickets to Kansas Speedway?
You betcha.
All right, NASCAR trivia, nickname game, or the numbers game?
Nickname game.
Nickname game. All right, give me the nickname. You want to pick one?
Out of that nickname category, Kyle Larson.
Okay. What's Kyle Larson's nickname? That's kind of a tough one because he doesn't really... Oh. All right. Bohemian Bullet, call back. We accidentally hung up on you. Hey, we're new at this. Just give us a break. We've only been doing this for 4 years. All right, let's go to line number 3. Who's on the line? Hugh, you're calling in. Line number 3, you're on the air. Hugh, how you doing this morning?
Great.
All right, Hugh, you ready to play the NASCAR trivia game?
Yes.
All right, you want to do the numbers game, the trivia, or the nickname game?
Numbers game.
Sorry, say that again?
Numbers game.
All right, the numbers game. Let's pick Danica Patrick plus Ricky Stenhouse equals what number?
27.
27 it is. Dirk, I wrote down the wrong number. My math is terrible. 27
10
it
and
is.
17 equals 37.
I need another 5-hour energy. All right, hold on the line, Hugh. You got yourself a pair of tickets to Saturday night's SpongeBob Square Pants 400 at Kansas Speedway. Congratulations, bud.
Awesome, great, thanks.
All right, we're continuing to roll on. We've got 2 more pair to give away. 402-573-0590. 402-573-0590. Line number 2, you are on the line. We'll hold on real quick. Bohemian Bullet's back on. What line, Craig? All right, let's put him on the line. Bohemian Bullet, you're back on the line. How you doing, bud?
Hey, not bad. I lost you there.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
All right, give me the nickname for Joey Logano.
Oh, man. I should know this. Saturday Night Racing, too much beer. Joey Logano.
Not enough beer.
Not enough beer. Yeah, that's his nickname. I don't know, man.
You don't know that one? You know what?
Kyle Larson. That was the original one.
That was the original question. You know Kyle Larson's nickname?
I thought it was Young Gun, but that's not it either.
It's close.
Very close.
Oh, man.
All right, keep trying, Bill. Keep trying. We'll call back. We'll see if we can get you another shot.
All right, sir.
All right, 402-573-0590. Line number 3, you're on the air. No, you're not on the air. All right, 402-573-0590. That's the number to call to get Kansas Speedway tickets. You still have 2 more chances to win, so make sure you call back, 402-573-0590. You can win a pair of tickets to the SpongeBob Square Pants 400 at Kansas Speedway. It's a pair of tickets that's a $180 value right there.
I was going to say, it's got to be at least $150.
Tickets are going for $99 right now, so you could really save some money if you want to win a pair of tickets from the front stretch here on AM 590. 402-573-0590, and we got 2 phone lines ringing in right now, and we'll see if we can't send line number 1 right to the airwaves. Craig, put him on air. Who's on the line? Hello, you're on the air. The front stretch, you're on the air. Oh, hung up on me. All right, line number 2. The front stretch, you're on the air.
Yeah, this is a bullet. I'll try one more time.
All right, you'll try one more time. What game do you want to play? You want to stick with the nickname game or do a trivia question?
Well, since I ain't worth a damn in the trivia, or the nickname, I'll go with the trivia.
All right, let's see. Who was the first driver to win more than one race this season?
Oh, dude, I got you on that one.
You got it?
First driver to win more than one, Kevin Happy Harvick.
That's absolutely right. And you'd got his nickname right, too.
Yeah, there you go. Third time's a charm, right?
Yep. All right, hold on the line. We got to get some information from you, and we will. You'll get your pair of tickets to Kansas Speedway. Congratulations, man. All right, and let's go to line number 4. Last chance for a pair of tickets to the SpongeBob Square Pants 400. Who's on the phone? Dylan, you're on the air. You want to win a pair of tickets? And I think we hung up on Dylan. All right, call back 402-573-0590. 402-573-0590. We have one more pair of tickets to give away before we wrap up the show at 9 o'clock. So we got about 10 minutes to give those babies, actually about 20 minutes to give those babies away. 402-573-0590. You can also call in if you don't want to try to win. You don't want to do that, maybe you can just call in and give us your opinion on Texas Motor Speedway, maybe results from last night at I-80 Speedway for the Bug Eater Bash, maybe even the previous weekend for the Spring Meltdown. A lot of different races going on. And make sure you plan accordingly for this weekend. Coming up on Friday and Saturday night, it's the Icebreaker Challenge at Eagle Raceway. A lot of great racing going on in the Midwest, a lot of specials right now, and the weekly racing will start in the next couple of weeks. I think we've got Dylan back on the phone line, so let's see if we can get Dylan back on the air and try to get away our last pair of tickets. Before we know, 402-573-0590, this may be your last chance to win. And put Dylan on the air. Line number 1, you're on the air. Who's this?
This is Jim.
Jim, how you doing this morning?
Pretty good.
All right, Jim, do you want to play the NASCAR trivia game to win a pair of tickets to Kansas Speedway?
Yeah.
All right, what do you want to do? Trivia questions, nickname game, or the car number game?
Car number.
All right. Let's see. Let's do Denny Hamlin minus Austin Dillon equals what?
8.
Double check my math there, Dirk. 8 is right. Jim, you won yourself a pair of tickets to Kansas Speedway for the SpongeBob Square Pants 400 night race. Congratulations, man. Thanks for listening. Hang on the line, Jim. Don't go away. We got to get some information from you so we can give you your pair of tickets and you can get down to Kansas Speedway. All right. Thank you to everybody for joining us, and we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back at turn number 4. We're going to preview Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll talk about the Pick'ems contest, and we'll be right back here on the front stretch.
UCROmaha.com 402-934-0044. Call Quality Clinical Research and learn how you can receive our leading-edge health care. Our medical research patients receive study-related office visits, exams, lab tests, and study medications at no cost. Find out which studies you may be eligible for. Call 402-934-0044.
Quality Clinical Research.
Sports fans, the brightest stars of NASCAR are about to light up the night again at Kansas Speedway. Megastars Dave, Danica, Carl, Clint, Jeff, and more. Saturday, May 9th, it's our second annual NASCAR Sprint Cup Series night race. Parking is free and coolers welcome. Tickets on sale now with even more seats for $99 or less. Kids tickets just $29. Call 866-460-RACE or visit KansasSpeedway.com today.
Are you looking to book your next outing? Look no further than Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs, located just north of Bass Pro. Joe's Karting can handle outings of well over 200 people. Bachelor parties, corporate outings, team meetings, birthday parties, and much more. Give Buddy a call today and reserve your outing. Joe's will even work with local restaurants to cater your event. Book yours today at joeskarting.com. That's karting with a K. It's time to get to Joe's and find out what everyone already knows.
Dan and Dirk are live for one last corner. Give them a call now at 402-573-0590.
And we are into turn number 4, ready to wrap this baby up. Turn 4 brought to you by Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs. Guess what happens this Wednesday, Dirk?
You're getting married.
Oh, no. I'm not crazy like Andrew. I am not crazy. This Wednesday is the first bike night of the season at Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs. I was looking at the long-range forecast, which is always a bad idea because you get excited about nice weather and then shit changes. But looked to be about 85 and sunny for Wednesday. So we should have some beautiful weather for the first bike night at Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs.
That was Council Bluffs weather, or was that somewhere in Texas or Florida, or where was that
That
at?
was Council Bluffs weather. Now, we're supposed to get some rain today, the last time I checked, and I believe we're going to get some rain on Tuesday, which is fine. I'm all right with it raining early in the week, as long as it stops raining Wednesday afternoon, and then we can get the tracks dry and go racing for the weekend.
Okay, and all you people that really enjoy your weather reports, this is coming from a guy that just added 10 and 17 and got 37. Okay? So.
Stop. I can't help it. I blame my education system.
There you go. Well, it was in Iowa. So.
Boy, pulling no punches this morning, huh?
Oh, you got me up early.
Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs. Absolutely beautiful place to go for a bike night. If you ever get a chance, they get between 800 bikes on a slow night and 1,200 bikes on a busy night.
Oh, the place is jammed.
It's gorgeous to go down there and just kind of walk around and see all the different bikes, all the different beer specials. And then my personal favorite, starting April 30th on Thursday nights, Classic Car Cruising. It is the biggest. I mean, this weekly car show brings out more cars than some special car shows do. Annual, 1 day a year car shows. So get out to Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs for Classic Car Cruising on Thursday, bike night on Wednesday. Then you've got all you can eat wings on Tuesday. Burger Mania, great beer specials, great food specials. It's going to be it's a great place to go down to. I kind of talked about the weather forecast. Looks like this afternoon is when those showers, this afternoon to late this evening, are going to come in. About 9 o'clock tonight, they're predicting some heavy thunderstorms, and it's going to rain. I love it when the chance of rain is 100%.
Yeah, when the chance of rain is 100%, the chance of me mowing is 0%. I like that.
I got mine in yesterday knowing full well that we were going to get some precipitation today and get my yard ready. And I got some dirty looks from my neighbors as I started the mowing frenzy in the neighborhood. All right, so Turn 4, again, brought to you by Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs. For those, when there is a Fox Sports 1 NASCAR race and you don't have Fox Sports 1 because you don't subscribe to that large of a tier on your cable or satellite provider, Chris down at Quaker Steak and Lube, he's got you covered. Get down to Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs for all NASCAR action. Obviously off today because NASCAR played last night at Texas Motor Speedway. We're back for Bristol next weekend. Talk about Bristol. It's a short track, but it is a completely different. It's a high bank short track.
Since they repaved it, a little bit of the luster and a little bit of the excitement's gone. Back when it was just the one groove track, and the bump and run was so ever present, and you've seen all the different highlights of Dale Earnhardt spinning out Terry Labonte and spinning out Rusty Wallace. You don't see quite as much of that anymore, but that is like a 130-mile-an-hour demo derby at times.
It is, and tempers will flare. This is the race that when they preview every race as the race that paybacks are given and there's beating and banging and door sliding, they're actually talking about Bristol.
Absolutely. And I mean, they talk about it being a self-cleaning track just because the bank is so big. The first time I went down there, it's the noisiest place I've ever been. Standing on pit road, you couldn't hear yourself think.
Really?
Oh, it's just incredibly loud. I mean, the noise has nowhere to go. You know, it's like being in a football stadium with all the engines, not just people cheering, but all the engines. And the banking is just unreal. If you ever get the chance to go, that, for any true NASCAR fan, that is a must-see place.
I've heard about the only way to get tickets to Bristol is to have them willed to you.
They've come upon some hard times here the last couple of years. There's been a lot of tickets in this area that have been on sale on Craigslist that I've seen.
Oh, really?
You know, people don't want to give their tickets up. But if you can't afford to travel for 1 or 2 years, you still go ahead and pay for them, and then you try and sell them.
Yeah.
And, I mean, people have done that in this area from Michigan Speedway. That used to be real big in this area because it's fairly close. But now that Kansas is down the street, you know, it's not quite so prominent. A lot of people bought the tickets to Kansas.
Last year's race at Bristol Motor Speedway, this time last year, the Food City 500. And by the way, I do want to give a shout-out to Bristol Motor Speedway. They renamed the race for this coming weekend. It's now the Food City 500 in honor of Steve Burns and the Stand Up Against Cancer. Some of you may know Steve Burns. He does Race Hub on Fox Sports, does broadcasts, and Steve's been diagnosed with head and neck cancer. And it's painful to watch his Twitter feed. He's struggling right now, and so the NASCAR community is really getting behind him, and they're trying to bring awareness to the situation and trying to honor him. He's been doing racing, calling races and being a commentator for about 30 years now, and he's one of those guys behind the scenes that's helped drive this sport, and he's one of the few guys that I completely respect from inside the industry because he's got such a great delivery, such a dynamic thinker. It's not just a simple, hey, how's your car? You looked good. What are you going next weekend? The three simple questions that everybody asks and nobody thinks to go outside the box. Steve went outside the box and a fantastic guy.
Yeah, I mean, you won't find a nicer guy in broadcasting in motorsports than Steve. I've never spent a bunch of time with him, but when I was doing my thing, I did get to meet him a couple times. Some of those guys that you see on TV, you don't want to spend 5 minutes with. Just
they don't have time for it.
Yeah, and they're so arrogant.
Yeah.
But Steve was never that way. Steve would have sat down and had a cup of coffee with you as long as you had the time.
Yeah, absolutely a nice guy, and just it's terrible that horrible disease is ravaging his body, but hopefully he can fight it off and the chemo will work and he'll be back at the track soon. Top 10 last year at Bristol. Kyle Larson got a top 10 finish in his Target Chevrolet. Brian Vickers in the 55 came home in 9th. Casey Kane in 8th. Jeff Gordon 7th. Denny Hamlin 5th. Marcus Ambrose in his final round around the NASCAR circuit came home in 5th. Tony Stewart 4th. Eric Almirola 3rd. Ricky Stenhouse 2nd. And Carl Edwards ended up getting the win and qualifying for the chase.
Yeah, Carl likes that track. As a matter of fact, Roush liked that track.
Yeah.
Kurt Busch won a bunch of races there when he was in Roush cars. Carl has won several races there. So maybe something can happen with the Roush cars this time. But I expect Carl to have a real good show there this time in his Toyota.
Typically, Matt Kenseth not good at short tracks, but since he's gone over to Joe Gibbs Racing, has improved considerably, and Matt led 165 of the 503 laps. He took home the most laps led award. He led 4 times last year, finished 13th, though. I think he just had I think they missed it on that final pit stop, and he just wasn't able to have the bite that he was having and the success he was having, but he's completely turned around. Typically, when he was racing in his earlier career, he was a 20th to 30th car, quite frankly. Just wasn't good at those short tracks.
Well, and that's unusual because the track, one of the tracks that he grew up racing weekly at, Slinger Speedway in Wisconsin, is probably one of the tracks that's closest to Bristol. It's a very high banked, I think it's probably 3/8 of a mile.
Mm-hmm.
But that track is really something else. That and Winchester Speedway are probably the two that come to mind that are a lot like Bristol. And he ran Slinger and was a track champion there, I believe.
The picks this year, the picks coming up for the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Chad Robb, Mr. Fantasy, is going to take Joey Logano. I've gotten kind of a kick out of Chad because when we talked at the beginning of the season, I said, how often are you going to change your picks? And he says, well, I'm probably not. But this has been a real flux season for a lot of drivers. And, a couple of the reasons why Chad switched his picks was because he picked the 18 or the 41 who had substitute drivers at the time. But this weekend at Texas, he originally took Carl Edwards, but Edwards has just struggled this year. So he switched it up and went with Brad Keselowski. Pays off for him, gets him 40 points at the end of the race. So far, Chad's looking at going with Joey Logano, but Chad's really good about paying attention to the practice because that does tell you the tale. And not just, don't look at who had the fastest lap on practice 1, 2, and 3. What you got to look at is who had the fastest 5 consecutive, 10 consecutive, and 20 consecutive laps.
Well, and the reason is you sit and you look at practice. Practice, was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The race didn't start till 6.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
A lot of times it's just on what's on the track and what they're doing with the weekend. I mean, They had another race on Friday night. So they're, when were they going to practice? They really wasn't a whole lot else they could do.
Yeah, and it was a quick weekend. I mean, they got there Wednesday. No, they got there Thursday,
right?
Yeah, because they only had 2 practices on Friday two on Friday. It was
Friday,
first practice and final practice. So, the pickups contest starting to kind of spread out. Again, win and you're in is the motto, and there's several people that have wins after the Phoenix. After Phoenix, and everybody took Kevin Harvick, and I've got 20 people now that have wins to their credit. Mike Carlson takes the lead. He's got 2 wins on the season, 277 points. Melissa Oman is in second place. She's got 2 wins, 223 points. First off, it's ranked by points or by wins because wins get you in. So whoever has the most wins, you're automatically qualified. And yep, Dirk, you've got 2 wins, so you're up there too. Teresa Wolf, who, by the way, Teresa missed her pick pick this weekend. She was busy at the track, but because of the way the rules are laying out, you could miss up to 3 picks in the season before being disqualified. So she's got 2 wins on the season already. She's sitting in 3rd place. She's only got 196 points, but she's qualified for the postseason.
Well, with as many wins as it's probably going to take, because people are going to end up with more than 2. I'm figuring there's going to be a couple people with 4 to 5 wins. So 2 might not get you in.
No, you got to keep picking those winners and being consistent. And guys like Andrew Kaziski, who's sitting back in 28th, David Adams, who's in 27th, Jimmy Birkeland, who's in 24th, they're a ways behind. Let's take Brock Ackerman, for instance. He has 272 points. He is 5 points behind Mike Carlson, but he's sitting 21st because he doesn't have a win. So as soon as Brock picks a win, he pole vaults up the line and he's into the postseason. The Pickers contest, you could join at any time. In fact, we just started our latest 5-week contest for a pair of tickets to the Xfinity race August 1st at Iowa Speedway, which we're working on being there. We're obviously going to be there in a couple of weeks for the Xfinity and for the Xfinity series. And I'm getting kind of mixed up now. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and I can't even add off the top of my head. The 5-week contests are really easy. You can go ahead and send me your email now. You're probably not going to be able to compete for the Iowa Speedway contest, but we've got a lot of contests still to come. The Silver Dollar Nationals contest, the Midwest Fall Brawl contest. We're working with Kansas Speedway about getting a contest put together for the October race. A lot of great stuff. And Iowa Speedway's talking about sending us a bunch of prizes, and we're collectively getting a bunch of autographs and collector's items for the end of the season. The Homestead Party at Quicker Steak and Lube. We'll give away a bunch of prizes to the contestants that come out and rank in the top whatever. It just depends on how many prizes we get.
And we're hoping here in the next month, maybe after the Kansas or the Iowa race, that we can have an announcement, because we're trying to put together some real neat prize packages.
That's a really cool one that you've got for Iowa Speedway.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Fingers are crossed, but that's some really fun stuff we got coming up for you guys in the next couple of months. So the Pick'ems contest, as always, you can email me, frontstretch590@gmail.com. I'll put your email off to the side when we do our next contest. Yeah,
the
it's
game
absolutely
is free.
It's absolutely free. You can't beat that. So frontstretch590@gmail.com is where you can go to get information on the Pick'ems contest. I'll send you the full rules, and you'll get in line for the next 5-week contest if you want to participate. You said it right. Absolutely free.
Yep.
Who do you think? I know we're early. No practices are done yet. I don't even think most of the haulers have left Texas yet, but do you have early ideas on who you want to go with for Bristol?
I'm going to give Carl a serious look, because, we're 7 races in.
Mm-hmm.
And, he finally got a top 10.
Yep.
But I still think the pressure's on the Gibbs camp. They've got their one win, basically the first win in almost a year with Denny Hamlin there at Martinsville. I think Carl needs to get his feet in the fire here and get something happening here real quick. Like I said, a top 10 was a start, but I think he's been around Bristol enough, and he likes short track and he loves concrete.
And he won there last year, so he's got that on his side. Darian Grubb has won, I believe, at Bristol also. So you've got an opportunity to have a good win there. You said we got a caller on line 1? Oh, okay, never mind. 1 minute to go. That was the signal. Do the index finger, not the middle finger, when you're giving me the one to go. All right, we appreciate everybody joining us this morning on the Front Stretch. As always, you can contact Dirk and I, frontstretch590@gmail.com or dirk@tfs@gmail.com.
There you go.
We'll be glad to chit-chat with you and get anything you got to talk about. So frontstretch590@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook. Don't forget to support those that support us, I-80 Speedway, Kaziski Auto Parts, Quicker Steak and Lube, Kansas Speedway, and as always, our great title sponsor presented the show, Joe's Karting. We'll be back next weekend to talk to Mark Wolf, second fueler for the Kevin Harvick Championship team. And
Omaha West Side High School graduate.
He had a great conversation with him earlier this week. We're going to get it trimmed up and get it on the air for you. All right, we'll be back next weekend to do it all again. This is the Front Stretch on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio.
Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs has taken a page out of IMCA's rulebook and gone crate. These brand new low-emission engines will still have you white-knuckling it all through the Metro's fastest indoor facility. Joe's Karting is now friendly for all skill levels with their brand new Honda-powered engines. It's time to get to Joe's today and find out what drivers like Jack Dover, Shaylee Bate, and Andrew Kosiski have known for years. Located in Council Bluffs and online at joeskarting.com. That's karting with a K.
This is Andrew from Kosiski Auto Parts. Kosiski Auto Parts is an insurance-quality used parts supplier that can match your foreign or domestic car or truck needs. If you have a damaged or broke-down car or truck, we guarantee a clean and quality part in next-day fashion. Kosiski Auto Parts, your neighborhood premium recycled parts supplier. Call any Kosiski Auto Parts salesman today by dialing 402-731-4592 or visit us at 5040 I Street in Omaha. Kosiski Auto Parts, our quality used parts will match your car or truck's needs.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Quaker Steak and Lube is the official watering hole for the front stretch and the best place to catch all the NASCAR action today. Open at 11 a.m. with delivery available to Council Bluffs.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.